And we are live. Hello, folks, and welcome to the first and inaugural, I think is the right word, episode of the Heroes Die Best Left Buried campaign. And thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jason Morgan. I am your game master, so it's my job to kind of set the scene for the story and adjudicate the rules. And I'm going to introduce you to two of the four players that will make up our cast for the Best Left Buried campaign. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Ladies, go ahead.
I'm Taya. I'm going to be playing Elspeth Pike. She's a kind of sassy inventor half elf woman.
Great. Amazing.
I am Paula. I'm going to be playing Kit. She is a rogue street thief.
Okay. Before we get too far into the game, we just want to do a couple announcements about where to find us on social media. Obviously, you're here. Well, if you're watching this, you're either watching this later on YouTube or you're watching it actively as we're live on either YouTube / Heroes Die Show or twitch.tv / Heroes Die Show. Is that right, Paula?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have some additional announcements we want to make.
Yes. So thanks so much for watching. If you've been enjoying our show, or if you are interested in following along, we have some social media channels. We have a TikTok where we post little clips from the shows that we've been doing, and then we have a Twitter and an Instagram, and you can find clips and also little updates and announcements about the show. And we also have a Discord where you can chat about the show and see some extra stuff, like maybe some character art, stuff like that. And what else? We have
a store where you can get cool
yes.
things like these Heroes Die mugs.
Yes, these are awesome. And we also have some very cool wizard hats there. And you can find that at the link is in our Twitch, as well as you can go to heroesdie.bigcartel.com. And then we also have a Patreon where we have some very cool perks. One of our cast members who's not here today, Josh, has written a I think he called it like a micro TTRPG. It's a really like low prep or no prep game that you can play, and we played it, and it's super fun. And so you can get that as one of the perks. And then this month's perk is like a little module that you can play within that system, and it's very cool stuff. And we're also going to be playing that soon, so you can watch. And I think that's it for those kinds of announcements.
Absolutely. And before we get too far, we want to say a bunch of thank yous to folks. Starting off, I'm really grateful to the folks that make tabletop audio. We're going to be using them for audio today, and they provide great music for your home games, and I love it, and I'd suggest you give it a shot. Beyond that, I want to say thanks to like really all the independent creators that go out there and make great content for 5th edition, which is the system that we're playing in today. You know, we're going to be using stuff from the Monster Manual Extended 1 through 3. We use things from Kingdom and Warfare, although not today, from the folks at MCDM, and a ton of other great creators. Obviously, thanks also to the folks at Critical Role originally, who made the setting that we're playing in today. So we're playing in the Wildmount setting, which is a book between those folks and the people at Wizards of the Coast who made the Wildmount campaign setting book. And with that, I think we're ready to go. Folks, we're gonna send you off for a quick intro video. And actually, before on that, I should say thanks to Mike, who is our in-house artist, who's done all the graphics that you see for the show, including the overlay. And thanks to Paula and everybody else, and Andrew, who provided an incredible voice for this overlay. So enjoy the intro video, and when we come back, we will start the Best Left Buried campaign.
Ah, old friend, you're here again. So glad you could stop by. Come, sit a while and let's begin. The tale of heroes die. In distant lands are stories made with villains most despised. A tale of magic, strength, and blade, of camaraderie and lies. It's one I know quite well, you see. Perhaps you'll find out why. The legends and the histories remember. Heroes die.
And we're back. Okay. So we open. We find ourselves in the city of Zadash, inside the Dwendalian Empire. It is evening. It is an early spring night. We start. The camera pans over to Kit. Kit, for the last 2 days, or starting yesterday during the day, you thought you were being followed. You could, at first you sensed something, and then you started noticing people watching you more closely than you'd like. You spend a lot of time in the streets, and the streets are not friendly or kind to you. And this extra visibility frightened you immediately. As you began looking to evade what seemed like some sort of concerted effort to catch you, you started noticing periodically as you would find places to get out of the way and you'd think you were safe, you saw this figure hooded with a dark cowl, or a deep cowl so dark that you couldn't see into the face. But as you saw this figure, you'd note again and again the already cold spring day would get colder. You'd see your breath and would feel the need to run again and again. Through last night, through to all day today, you have found yourself relentlessly pursued. You thought to go back to safety, your crow's nest, but then you realize that whatever this thing is, whatever's happening here, this pursuit is determined and dogged and has some way to catch you, even when you think you couldn't possibly be followed. So you've decided that it wouldn't be safe to return and potentially lead whoever this is back to your little crows. We focus on Kit as you are running rapidly across a rooftop, in hopes of getting away. And with that, let's start on you. Kit, what would you like to do? You're in the market district of the city. So it's upper scale, it's evening. There are guards out on the streets, and you've seen now, you've caught a few glimpses of your pursuers, both this mysterious figure and some more mundane humanoid pursuers.
So, yeah, like you said, Kit is not going to want to go back to the nest. So, in fact, she's going to want to go the opposite direction. She doesn't know who's pursuing her. She doesn't know if they even potentially might know who she is or know who she's associated with. So she's going to try her best to just stay as far away as possible. And she's running towards this spot that her and Jack a long time ago made an agreement that if ever they needed to disappear for a while, or if anything was like going wrong, that they would leave a signal here. And this is a place that neither of them really go often, so it's like a safe place where she can go there and feel good about it, not being a place that's gonna lead anyone to her friends. But it's this abandoned warehouse, and there's like this upper floor. It's multiple floors, and like there's this upper floor, and there's one window in the corner, and that's the place where they've agreed to leave a signal. And so she's going to try to get to this abandoned warehouse, to this window, and see if she can do this without being seen by her pursuers.
Great. Absolutely. So you're running rooftop to rooftop ahead of you. You think you've got a good distance on your pursuit. You think you have a good distance on your pursuers right now. That being said, that sense of safety has proved false before. There is a slow and safe way to this point that you can take. Alternatively, being on the rooftops, you can keep moving fast, but you're going to have to risk jumping over a number of gaps between buildings. What would you like to do?
She's gonna take the fast, riskier route.
Okay, great. That's what I was hoping. Yeah. So running quickly, you run into your first significant gap. Can I get an acrobatics roll, please?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
First roll
Don't
of the
fail me.
campaign.
Yes. Don't fail me, die. Oh my goodness. That's not great. Okay, so I rolled a 6, but I do have a +6. So that's a 12.
Slick under your feet. You slide a little bit as you get towards the edge, but you recover, bounce, and bound, clearing the rooftops. You're making good time. You're making good time, but in the heat of the pursuit, this being night and with a little bit of snow starting to come in, you're having trouble getting a sense of where you need to go. Do you mind rolling me a perception check to get a sense of how we're going to get to this location?
That is pretty good. I rolled a 14 + 3, so 17.
Absolutely. With that, you're able to quickly locate. You reorient yourself. You're moving swiftly and relatively quietly over the rooftops. You can still see guards on patrol on occasion down in the streets. As you move towards the sprawl in this abandoned warehouse, the roofs are no longer, or the roofways are no longer a valid pathway. You go back to street level, and there's much less presence of guards on the street now, but with war coming, or with the war now underway, the whole city is much more on guard. Can you please give me a stealth check to get into the warehouse unnoticed?
Oh, okay. Stealth. I'm pretty good at this. Oh my gosh. I rolled a 2. I have +8, so that's a 10.
Wow, that is shocking. That is shocking. But as you're crossing towards the warehouse, right as you're getting ready to open a back door, you see the light of a torch from a guard rounding a corner. You duck back into the shadows, hoping not to be seen. And the tense moment passes as you see the figure at the end of the alleyway looking in, trying to see something, but then they move on and continue with whatever they're doing. You're going to be able to get into this house. I'm going to leave you now in the scene. You can compose your note for the crows, but you sense that your time is limited, so you'll want to be brief and get whatever signal you're done written down quickly.
Okay.
And with that, we're gonna pause on Kit, and the camera's gonna focus over The camera's going to focus over to Essie or Elspeth, and we have our first interaction with Elspeth. Elspeth, you're in your room, or Essie, I'm sorry. You're in your room. You've had dinner. Again, another shockingly tense meal with your family. The tensions between you and your father have been running higher and higher. He is insistent that he's not going to share with you the details of whatever he's working going on, and the sense of hurt that you have is both he somehow keeps you from being able to grow and expand on your own and tries to hold you back, and at the same time, as he begins working on something, is unwilling to share with you. Right? It's gotten to you now. These last few weeks, you've been planning in secret to leave and make a name for yourself on your own, and here you are in your room, determined that tonight is the night, and that whether or not your friend Kit is willing to come with you, you are leaving. So we sit you in your room alone, packing the last of your things. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so Essie, her movements are just a little bit more abrupt than normal. She's got a lot of supplies laid out on her bed, and then almost a bag over on the side of the bed, and her movements are jerky. She just came back from a fight, essentially, at the dinner table, and so she's got what everything you could possibly imagine to want to go on a journey laid out on this bed. She's got extra travel clothes, she's got spy glasses, she's got different like chisels and little brushes, she's got empty vials, she's got a rope ladder, her bedroll, like just everything you could possibly think of to need on the road. And she's just taking up items and putting them in her backpack, but there's no way that all of these items should fit in this bag. But she's rolling up the rope ladder, and she's tucking it in the bag, and somehow you can't see it when you look in the bag. And so she's just, as she does it, she's just kind of muttering to herself. She's like, "Oh, I'll show you that I should be left out of this."
Great. As that occurs, there's a gentle knocking at your door.
She'll quickly like flip probably like a blanket over the things that she hasn't put in the backpack yet, and she'll just walk over towards the door and creak it open.
As you flip the blanket over, you hear the door begin to creak open.
All right, who's there?
Please roll me a sleight of hand check.
The Elspeth Pike guarantee of excellence. Oh, that's real good. So with guidance, that's a 28 total.
The Elspeth Pike guarantee of excellence. I love it. Okay. The door creaks open, and your mother walks in, Elmira. She is now, you know her, but I'm going to describe her to our audience who doesn't. She is a half-elven woman, seems to be in her mid to late 40s. She's dressed very well. She has a nice vest on top of her very fine clothing. At dinner, she's once again trying to mediate and calm down. And she comes in and she goes, "Elspeth, my dear, do you have a minute?"
She'll look like almost begrudging, like she knew this conversation was going to happen, and she'll be like, "Mom, you cannot keep continuing to take his side. He is hiding something, and I don't even care if he's hurt. I said what I said, and I stand by it."
She steps in. She goes, I know, Essie, I know. And she pulls a chair from your desk and sits down. She flips it backwards and leans over it. And she goes, "Listen, Essie, this time of life, these things that are going on between you and your father, it's natural. It's important to remember as we have these strong feelings You got to make sure that you let him out in a constructive way, okay?
Yeah,
All
but
I ask is don't be rash. Be patient. I know it's hard, but find patience.
uh, one of Essie's like eyes will twitch a little bit in guilt, um, and her shoulders will slump a little bit, and she's just is gonna say, "Mom, I've been his partner for years in everything. We've we've tinkered together. We've done so many things together, even for the crown, and now he's cutting me out. How am I supposed to be patient with that? And besides, patience isn't exactly what I'm good at in life. I probably got that from you."
You know, patience is one of those things that you just get better at with time. And she smiles. And then she stands up and she sits down on the bed next to you, or sits down on the bed and indicates for you to sit down.
Essie will be a little nervous as she sits down in the bed and try to like direct her to a spot that she has that does not have a rope ladder underneath the blanket.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a deception check. You're trying to be
Oh
sly about it.
no, you bet. Oh, all right, that's pretty good. It's a 16 total.
So she's like, "Oh yeah, of course." And she sits down where you're hoping she will. She sits down beside you. She grabs your hand. She's like, "Listen, Essie, I don't know what he's up to, but I trust your father. And I'm concerned about what happened at the dig. I'm concerned that we're back here. And all I can do now is focus on my work and what I need to do for myself, for you kids, and for the family. And you have to do the same. Sometimes life just is hard and we don't understand things. Your father loves you."
I know. Are the twins all right? I didn't upset them too much, did I? There was a little bit of hollering.
They're fine and they'll be fine.
All right.
And she gives you a hug. And we're going
I
to cut
love-
away from that warm and inviting scene. And we find ourselves back with Kit. You are in this warehouse. It is dark. You have frantically scribbled down your note. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what you've put in it?
Well, actually, she is going to scratch the note into with her dagger. She's going to scratch the note into the wall, like the kind of like the window sill. And she doesn't write in common. She doesn't know how to. She writes using thieves' cant, and so it's just 3 or 4 symbols that basically indicate being pursued, have to leave town, stay vigilant, and don't look for me. And yeah, so she's used her dagger to scratch that into the windowsill, and she is going to leave, like take this, she's got this little, it's like a very tattered silk handkerchief that just looks frayed around the edges, stained, faded, like it looks really bad. She's gonna take it out, and her hands are kind of shaking, and she's gonna hold it for a sec, and then she's gonna put it like underneath, is if there's like a brick or a rock or something, or like a piece of rubble, she's gonna put it underneath with a little bit of the corner sticking out, and then she's just going to book it out of there. She's going to try to make it to the next spot she wants to go to is kind of like it's another warehouse, but it's like pretty far away, several blocks away, and she's hidden like a go bag basically, where if things go bad, it just has some supplies because she doesn't actually have anything with her because she hasn't been able to go back to the nest. So she's gonna go see if her go bag is still there. She put it there like a long time ago. So she's gonna go see if she can get that.
As you're hiding the scarf, you hear that familiar and the scratching that comes with it, like some sort of animal sound. And as you breathe out, you can see, even in the dark, your breath foggier than normal. There's some broken glass, and you can see water vapor condense to it. And you hear the sound of the door to the warehouse creak as it opens. How do you want to get out?
Oh, my heart is pounding. So the window's broken.
There are some broken panes in this very large window.
Okay. She's gonna try to go out the window. Like if she needs to break any more of the window out, she will, and she's gonna try to go out the window.
So you have two options. You could break out some of the window here at this level. Otherwise, if you climb up a little bit, there's a walkway above you, and there's enough shattered glass over the walkway, or enough opening over the walkway, that you could climb out into the warehouse, or climb out outside the warehouse without making a lot of sound.
I will do that, for sure.
Okay. Do you have a climb speed?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then in that case, what I'd like you to do is roll me an acrobatics or athletics check in order to get up to that next level.
Acrobatics it is. That's a 17.
Nice. You're able to easily get to that next level. And you head out. Now that, as you're getting up, you can hear voices talking, gruff voices, saying things back and forth. Where is she? I don't know. Look over here. The hound's sure she's in here, though. Keep going. Keep searching.
The hound?
That's what you hear.
Okay.
Um,
I'm shaking.
I'm so worried for Kate right now.
Oh my god. Okay.
So, you get up to the second floor. You begin to sneak out the window. There's a ledge. So the warehouse is a 2-story warehouse. Along that upper story, there is a small, thin ledge that you can follow around. If you get around, you're on the, it's a long building, right? And it's rectangular. So you're on the short side. So as you get to the edge of the short side and then around to the back, you will be able to jump to another rooftop. And that's your best path out the way that you're going. But you're going to need to sneak along this ledge. So can I get a stealth check, please?
Yes. And I think I forgot from last time, but I do have advantage on these. She's going, is that correct? That's correct.
It is correct.
Okay. She's going to just kind of through like her shirt, she's gonna feel like there's this key hanging around her neck, and she's just gonna kind of touch it as she's trying to sneak. And
as you press the key to your chest, the sound of your footfalls grows unnaturally quiet, as it has every time you've touched this key since you were very young. What did we get?
So I rolled a natural 20 for a 28.
You are like a ghost in the night. As you walk around this ledge, you can see now down below, you can see two figures waiting outside the warehouse. The two figures are standing there. There's one who looks like a tiefling man. He's wearing some sort of armor, like looks like a breastplate, and he has this absolutely vicious looking mace hanging at his waist. Beside him and not far, you see that figure, that same hooded figure that you've seen before. It's standing, but it's standing much shorter than the man beside it. Not like it's genuinely short, but like it's hunched over. And while you can't see its face, you do see it reaching out and clawing at the pavement as it's looking at the warehouse and just scratching.
Oh my goodness.
You move to the far edge, and with that 20, that's great. That's gonna count. So we're doing a little skills challenge thing for those that are watching. So that's gonna go ahead and net you 2 successes. So you're able to once again evade this group and get to your warehouse to pick up your bag, and we'll return to you as you are grabbing your bag after this.
Okay.
All right. We flip from that unpleasant scene back to Essie. So Essie, you are in your home again. Some time has passed. Where are you, and what are you doing?
I think that she'd have her pack totally packed up and ready to go now. She probably would have hidden it somewhere easy to grab on the way out. Probably getting out the back way. But I think it just that conversation with her mother shook her, and she's feeling real guilty. So she had taken some time to write some letters, and she's kind of got them tucked into her back pocket there. But she's actually going to go towards the family greenhouse in the house a little bit. She's going to enter. It's within the house is this greenhouse encased in glass, and so she's going to open up the door and walk in, and on the inside are plants they're not normal. You can immediately tell that these plants are probably dangerous. They're extremely rare plants that are going on in here.
These are plants that your family's collected over their various expedition over the years, right? So you have plants that are native to Wildemount. You have plants that aren't native, and being kept in this greenhouse. Is that correct?
That's correct. Some of them have like healing properties. Some of them have poisoned properties, and some of them have properties that they're still studying because they don't really know exactly what they do. But all of these plants are plants that absolutely they do not want mingling in any other way. And so she's going to take a step into the greenhouse, and just immediately she's hit by this little buzzing noise, and there's like chirping, like you almost feel like an ecosystem is in here. And she's going to reach out and like hold out her hand, and a little bee is going to land, but it's not natural. There's like these little clickings that happen, and you see this almost mechanical cogwheel type little bee that she's kind of holding in her palm, and she's going to say, "All right, they haven't eaten you yet, huh, little guy?" She's going to like let it go, and then she's just going to kind of walk on in there.
All right. Is there anything you're looking to do here in the greenhouse?
Particularly, she usually is the one that keeps track of this when she's here. This is kind of one of her little pet projects. So she's going to be real worried about them when she leaves. And she's just going to take a little time and give them a little water and tend to them a little bit. And she's kind of looking around for a little presence that might be in here.
Yeah. You look around. Give me a perception check.
All right, you got your own guarantee. She's gonna cast guidance on herself. 22 total.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. You look through. You don't see anyone else in here. You do, however, notice outside there is Alira and Colton, and they're outside the house. Aliran and Colton, they're outside the house, and they seem to be talking quietly underneath a very large oak that you have on the property. Seem to be doing something secret.
Can I try to... I'm just going to walk back out of the greenhouse and shut it. Can I try to sneak up on him?
Absolutely, you can. Give me a stealth check.
She's going to just touch her shoulder and just... All right, Elspeth Pike, you got this. Cast guidance again on herself. Oh, that's a 26 total.
Jesus.
I'll start using it. It's the same dice.
It's okay. It's no problem.
It's rolling real well.
That's good. Good die rolls are good. You are able to easily sneak up on your brother and sister, and they seem to be in the midst of a relatively heated argument.
What are they arguing about? I was going to scare them to death, but I'm going to hold off for a second and just see what they're arguing about.
Yeah, it seems like you can hear Aliran and Colton's like, "No, it's mine. I found it. I'm keeping it." And Aliran is very clear. She's like, "Colton, you can't take care of it. You don't even know what it eats. It doesn't belong in the house. Put it back. Let it go." And Colton is passionate and upset, and they're going back and forth around keeping this thing, whatever it may be.
Finally, I'm gonna grab him around and just go, Baba Yaga!
Yeah, there is screaming. The children scream. Colton flings open his hands, and a small garden snake goes flying. Towards you, but it doesn't look like it's going to hit you. You can try and catch it.
Can I try to catch it?
You may.
All right. Is that like a acrobatics?
Sleight of hands would be ideal.
Sleight of hand. All right, that's not. It's 15. I got a good plus
easily.
To
this. You catch this garden snake and keep it from landing too hard against the ground.
And then she's just gonna be like, all right. What have you got a snake for?
Colton looks at you and goes, "It's my snake. I like it."
Well, where are you gonna keep it?
I don't know. In the room?
In your room?
Or the kitchen? There's food in the kitchen.
Well, there's food in the kitchen, but you know what else is in the kitchen? Our food. Come on. You can't.
Anna.
And Anna. Anna would tan your hide if you left the snake in the kitchen.
He looks dejected. And
But
Aliran is looking at him sternly. He goes,
and she'll tap her nose and she'll say, it might have a good home in the greenhouse.
Colton and Aliran both look at you very seriously.
Nobody else goes in there. Should be fine. You just gotta catch some rats for it. You can do that, right?
Can it live in there?
Well, those plants are dangerous, so I can't guarantee that the plants aren't gonna hurt it in some way. But
it's a garden snake. It'll be safe.
Thanks. It's a garden snake in Zadash, not a garden snake out in the wilderness where those plants are from. But as long as you make sure to release some food in there for it, you can keep it in the greenhouse. Just be careful when you're in there. You better take someone with you when you go in there. Go
Okay.
together.
Okay,
Right.
they agree. This sounds like a great idea. They're on board.
And she'll spontaneously she'll look at her little brother and sister, and she'll just, they're probably at the age they don't really like hugging much, but she's just gonna bring them on in and just kind of give them a kiss on each of their heads, and she's gonna say, "All right, you know I love you, right?
We do.
All right, you take good care of the family. You know, I got some stuff I'm gonna be busy with the next couple days, so you take real good care of Mom and Dad and Grandpa, all right?"
Yes, of course. They are very focused on getting the snake into the garden.
All right,
right?
get it into the garden. Then you
All
better
right.
catch some rats for it.
And yeah, there's an immediate contest about who can catch the best rats. But we're gonna cut away now from Essie and this heartwarming scene, and we go back to Kit. Kit, you have gotten to this next warehouse. You have gotten your go bag. So tell me a little bit about where you've stashed it, and a little
Sure.
bit about the warehouse if you don't mind.
Sure. It's less a warehouse and more, I mean, it's a small warehouse. It's much smaller than the other one. It seems like it's been abandoned for years. It doesn't have many windows. It probably used to be like an old shop or something. Um, on the inside, the floor is like super damp. Like water has been coming in from like holes in the roof. It smells really like musty in there. It doesn't seem like anyone's been in here in a long time. And so she goes in, and there's not much in here, but up against one of the walls is like a stack of old crates, and she sees that they haven't been disturbed, so that's a good sign. So she goes over there and she pushes these crates out of the way, and the wall is like wood paneling, but it's like very rotted, and it's been damp in there. But she pulls out like this section of the wall that's basically just been cut, and so she pulls it away, and in this hollow space there is a small bag. It doesn't have much in it. It's kind of just like, it's got like a bedroll, it's got some rope, it's got a dagger, just like some very basic supplies that you would have need of if you were going to try to get away quickly. It has a little bit of money, but like a few copper and like a silver or something. It's not a lot. So she grabs that, and then she puts everything back, and puts it back the way it was, tries to make it look like she wasn't there.
Great. And I'm going to pause you as you're doing this. The floor creaks, the smell of the dampness and the rot is getting to you, and that sense of relief you have finding your go bag there and intact, it just hits you, and the adrenaline that you've been running on for the last day seems to evaporate, and this wave of exhaustion comes over you. You now have one level of exhaustion, so you're going to roll your ability checks with disadvantage going forward. You are tired, and again you can hear from outside, paired with that same scratching sound. There's been no let up, no release. Nowhere that you found to date is safe. What are you gonna do?
So she hears the sound coming from where she
Outside,
came
it's
in.
still a ways away, so you haven't heard anything right up close, but your keen ears catch a little bit of it.
She's going to go out a different way, like the back way, and she is just going to slip out very quietly. The door's probably a little stuck. She's going to push it open and this kind of is like a back alley, I guess, and she's going to press herself up against the wall and just take a breath.
Roll me a stealth with disadvantage.
But just a straight roll since I have advantage on stealth?
Yep.
Okay. Gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. That's not bad. Oops. Okay. That's a 16 plus 8, so 22.
You seem to, with luck and everything else, nothing creaks or is too loud. You know, that somewhat unnatural dampening of sound around you that occurs when you hold the key keeps you safe. You're tired, but everything is still okay. You have a moment to breathe. As far as you know, your options are keep running, although you know at this pace that's not going to let up. At the same time, your friend, your acquaintance, that noble child that you've been spending some time with, noble young woman that you've been spending some time with, has been asking you pretty heavily for the last couple of weeks if you would join her, and she plans to flee the city. I don't know what you're thinking here, so give me a little insight.
Yeah. So as she's standing there pressed up against the wall, letting out a shaky breath, she thinks of Essie, and they've spent some time together. Essie's a nice woman. She's definitely a lot different than most of the people that Kit has come to know in her life. And Kit is very slow to trust people in general. So when Essie mentioned this, excursion, this offer to get out of town, Kit didn't even consider it, right? She has her very tight-knit group that she's with. I mean, she thinks of Jack, her best friend that she's spent almost her entire life with, and the little crows. There's Magpie, and she can't think of leaving them. So when Essie told her about this, she didn't even think of it as an option. But she starts thinking about this, and she's already made the decision that she needs to get out of town. It's the best thing for her and for her friends. So she's going to. She can't really remember when Essie was leaving, what she was planning to do, where she was going, but she's going to make a decision right there while she's standing outside of that abandoned building. And okay, all right. And she's going to get her bearings and start heading over to the nicer part of town, to see if she can meet up with Essie and see what she's planning to do.
Yeah, as you come to that conclusion, you begin moving. You can see those same figures you saw before now moving into the warehouse where you just were, and lights from inside, or this building where you just were, and lights from inside as these torch wielding people who've been following you have found yet another of your resting locations. You see that same tiefling figure stride out, that hooded thing not far from him, and he looks confidently into the dark, watching for some sign. You're gonna run off?
Yes.
All right, let's give me another stealth. Let's get away here.
Okay, so before she takes off, she's just gonna rest a hand on her chest again and feel that very comforting weight of the key beneath her shirt. Okay, not bad. That was a 12, so 20 total. Oh, my palms are sweaty.
You move away. Nothing seems to notice you immediately, and you're back out in the streets, moving, tired. It is now past curfew in the city,
Okay.
so being out on the streets means you could possibly be, at a minimum, stopped and questioned by any guards you find along the way. Of course, moving into the wealthy part of Zadash means passing through guarded gates, right? Which won't be easy to get through this time of night. So I want you to begin thinking about how you're going to pass through the gates, and we'll rejoin you once you get to them.
Okay.
And from there, we swap back over to Essie. So
After-
Essie,
Yeah.
once again, we find you at your home. You know, you've settled down the twins. You've spoken with your mother. Where do we find you now as you're preparing to leave?
She's got her bag on her now, and she's gonna try to track down the estate's little friend. She's gonna look for Carlos.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's, when everybody's kind of keyed down, he's usually by her grandfather. You should just start looking, and they could be anywhere in the estate, to be honest, but they're usually out by the gardens.
Yeah, you look around, not in the gardens. Not in the gardens. You're going through the house. You know, you see some of those new security folks as you get through the entry hall. Those new guards just sitting there. There's two of them at a table, playing cards, but wearing that heavy armor that they wear with weapons, shields at the ready. You've never seen your house so militarized as you have over the last few weeks. They nod at you as you walk in, and then just continue with their card game. You tell as you walk in that they are, as the door opens, there's some tension, right? They look
Ready.
like they never really relax.
She'll give them a Tom and Jackson, aren't they, right? It's two newbies. All right, she'll give them a polite nod, and but just keep walking, and once she gets past them, she'll kind of curl up her lip a little bit, thinking about them sitting there. But she won't interact with them much more than just a polite nod.
Yeah, you moving through the house. You go to the study, and as you open the door to the study, you see your grandfather, who is in like a nice reclined chair. He's got a book laid across his chest, and he is snoring. So he has fallen asleep. You do, however, see Carlos, the little flying figure, perched there on one of the bookshelves. And as you look in, you can see his eyes and some of the lights on him light up. Can you help me understand what Carlos looks like?
Yeah, so honestly, nobody in the family outside of the grandfather, and he never told anybody where Carlos came from. But for Essie's entire life, this little, she still doesn't know quite what it is. It's almost like a combination between a homunculus or an automaton maybe, but it's also got these like almost like fairy dragon-like qualities to it. He's got a mix between like almost organic and metallic pieces to his body, but he's a small creature with a little round body, a cute little head with his ears are light bulbs, and then he's got a tail that the end is a light bulb as well, and he's got these tiny little like ethereal but metallic wings. It's like this weird combination between the two, and he's just always been here. He's very attached to her grandfather as his master, but he's he's been a friend to not only Essie, but Essie's father grew up with him, and he helps around the house. He from all sorts of things. Sometimes he's sweeping the floor, sometimes he's finding books for them to cross-reference. Really anything that they need or want, he's usually there, even if it's just to play with.
Great. And
And so
you see Carlos up high on one of the bookshelves, and his wings start to flutter, his ears and some of the other lights glow a little bit and start blinking a bit. He's trying to contain it, and he zips across the air between you and flies over at you at pace. And of the things you know about Carlos is enthusiastic and positive, and Carlos is also not great at managing himself in space.
No, he's not. I'm going to say Carlos. Oh God, rein it in. As he's
And he
coming forward.
flies right into you,
Oh, God,
and you stumble
Carlos.
back and out of the study. And
Hush, Carlos. You're gonna wake Grandpa up.
we need to be quiet.
Yes, quiet. Yeah, you're right. She'll just like do that thing where she tucks him kind of underneath an arm, and she's gonna walk back into the study, and she's just gonna say, "Have you been keeping a good eye on him?"
He's sleeping.
Yeah, I see that.
He's
I see
very tired. He was
Yeah.
excited today.
Oh, he was excited today. That's good. Did he mention Grandma at all?
He always talks about her sometimes.
Yeah, he misses her a lot. Thank you for.
Talks to her sometimes.
Oh no, he's been doing that again.
It happens.
Yeah, I know. She's gonna put him back up on like the bookshelf for a moment, and she's gonna say, "Just stay there for a second. I'll be right back." And she's actually gonna approach her grandfather, and he's sleeping, but she'll take the book up off of his chest and she'll look at it, and it's probably something insane, like quantum mechanic type fantasy style book, and she'll just kind of chuckle and close it and hand it off, and she'll say, "Carlos, can you put that back where it belongs?"
He flies up to one of the higher shelves and stacks it away.
And then she'll just reach down and kind of half embrace her grandpa and kiss him on the cheek, and just like put her hand on his head for a minute and just say, "Grandpa, you take care of this place and yourself. I'll be back."
He continues to
Yeah. All right. And then she's gonna go back to Carlos sitting on the bookshelf, and she's gonna say, "Carlos, I got a secret to tell you."
Ooh, I love
Yeah.
secrets.
"Yeah, well, this one you gotta keep. You gotta promise me, not even Grandpa." Pinky promise?
He spins around a little bit. He's excited, but he's starting to make a little bit more noise now that you've said this. And he looks a little agitated. I don't. It's complicated.
I know. Here, I don't ask this of you often, but it's real important, all right? I got a job for you.
Oh, I'd
Yeah,
like to be helpful.
It's real important. She's going to take the letters out of her pocket. She's going to hand them off to him. And one letter is addressed to her mother. One of them is addressed to her father. And then, yeah, I think that's it. One to her mother and one to her father. She's going to say, "Carlos, I'm leaving town for a little bit. Mom and Dad don't know yet. It's
The
real
lights,
important."
the lights start flashing
Yeah, I
on
know,
his
I
ears and
know.
on his back, and in like a pattern.
I know. Yeah, all right. Well, something's been going on, and I got to figure it out. It's got to be me, all right? Can you wait 3 days and then hand these letters off to Mom and Dad?
Secrets.
Yep. You just you and me, Carlos. Just you and me, all right? This is real important.
Yeah, roll me a persuasion check, please.
Elspeth Pike, guarantee of excellence. This is a persuasion check?
Yes, please.
Ooh, not great. 11.
11. He looks at you and goes, I can keep them. I can give them.
All right. 3 days, remember, not
I
4.
hate waiting.
I know. All right. Well, here, just something to tide you over. Down in my study, I've been working on something. All right. Yeah, it's real cool.
New presents.
Yeah, a new present just for you this time. All right. You got to take good care of it.
Woohoo.
I
Okay.
know. It's a
What do we
hammer.
have?
It's a hammer, but it hammers itself. All right. That's what I'm working on. But you can use it in a little different ways. Because if you turn it on, it'll throw itself if you're not holding on to it, and you can catch it and bring it back.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I can build many things.
Oh yeah, of course. And I got another job for you while I'm gone, all right? You gotta take care of the plants in the greenhouse. You remember how much water each of those plants gets?
I don't like it in there.
Well, I know. If anything tries to eat you, you just sound an alarm. Mom or Dad will come and get you, or the twins. They're releasing a snake in there right now, so they'll be in there more often.
I'll bring the children.
All right, yeah, you bring them. Bring the twins. They'll protect you, all right? Just fly up if anything tries to eat you. You could fly away from them.
Okay.
All right, bring it in. I gotta leave soon, but I need a hug from my favorite Carlos.
Absolutely. So he's in there for a hug. We're gonna cut with you there and return to the mean streets of Zadash, where Kit is in the process of trying to get through, or you are presented with one of the gates into the city. So you've got two options, right? You can try and make your way through the gates, although without some kind of bribe, it's going to be difficult. Alternatively, you are aware of a path through the sewers that you have used in the past that you could try and use again. What would you like to do?
Oh, yeah, she's very torn, because usually she would be just, 100% using the underground tunnel system. But it's pretty secret, and the little crows use it very often for their travel. And she knows she's being followed very closely. So she doesn't really want to do that if it's possible. Is there a way for her to look for an alternative above ground way to go that circumvents the guards at the gate?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is possible to get up and over the wall. Now, they're careful to not let too many large buildings get close to the wall, but there is a pathway that. That being said, that jump that you have to do to get over to the wall from where you are is a tricky one.
Okay.
So you can climb up. So you climb up this building. You go through the inside. It's a residence, right? But it's an apartment style thing, right? So there's a couple different people live up there. You're able to get up to the roof, right? Flat top roof, and there is a run and a jump where you can hit the wall. That being said, if you go too short or go too far, you're likely going to put yourself in danger of a pretty significant fall.
Okay, so she will go as far to the furthest point possible, and she will kind of dig in, and she wants to dash to the edge and make a leap for it.
Absolutely. Roll me a acrobatics check, please.
With disadvantage still?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You are exhausted, unfortunately.
All right. Oh, that's not great. Okay, so that is a 6 plus 6, so 12.
All right. So you run sprinting to the edge. You get to the edge there, you jump, you start clearing it. Everything's looking good. You land. Now, the snow has been falling lately. There's been a little rain, so it's wet. As you land on top of the wall, your feet slide. You keep going. You fall off the far edge, unable to stop yourself, heading towards the ground. Make me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can land somewhere soft, or if we're going straight to hard cobblestone streets.
Okay. Oh my goodness. That was at disadvantage too, right?
Yeah.
So
No, saving throw.
No?
Absolutely.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Then that is a 16 plus 6, so 22.
Okay. You fall and it hurts, but you're able to catch yourself. There's a little straw pile, and you're able to catch yourself in the straw pile. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from your fall. So it hurts, but you're not brutalized by the fall. And you are now in the wealthy section of Zadash.
Okay, so she's gonna pick herself up and brush the straw off and look around, and she knows where Essie lives, and about how far away is she from?
She's not far. However, I'm going to need you to roll me a stealth in order to get there without being noticed by any of the guards.
Okay. And that is just a straight roll.
Straight roll.
Well, doesn't matter that much because it was terrible. It was a 2 plus 8, so 10.
Yeah, as you're getting towards the gates, your clothes are not fine quality.
No.
Right? You've got your bag, and as you're going, one of the now more prosperous looking guards, as you're moving through a square, you're not far from Essie's place. You're moving through a square. You see a lantern shines on you and a light, and you hear someone say, "You, halt! By order of the king."
She's gonna book it
Yeah, you run?
instantly. Yeah, no hesitation.
Nice.
She's gonna
you
run and dash as well. So
you hear the guard shout some more, and a couple feet now pounding as you are being pursued. So you begin running through the area, trying to get some sort of safety, trying to find yourself in a new spot. So give me a sense of what is Kit gonna do to lose these pursuers.
she's gonna try to get to Essie's place. She knows as soon as she gets to Essie's place, she knows how to get in, and she'll be safe there. So
Are you concerned about losing the guards first, or are you just going to go right there?
she's less concerned about losing the guards. She will try to take a little bit of like a circuitous route there, but she is really just trying to go as fast as possible and get there, because she knows if she gets caught, like that's going to be a big pain in the ass. But if she gets there, she knows that Essie can probably like talk her out of it, even if the guards follow. So
Okay. Okay. So with that, let's think. You have an opportunity. You're running, taking a bit of a circuitous route. You're going to do a little parkour to try and get over a wall, get through an alley, just ditch some of these guards along the way. So please give me an acrobatics check to try and get out of here.
okay, that is a 9 plus 6, so 15.
Nice. You lose them, and you have the Pike estate in view.
Okay. She's going to run up to the wall. It's walled, correct? That's correct, right?
Yeah,
That is
there's a big like gate around. Or a big,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the spot where the little crows, where Ducky and a couple of the other little crows got in before, she's gonna use that same location and jump over the wall. She knows that security has been increased, but she also knows the holes in the security. So she's going to climb over the wall.
Absolutely. So you climb over the wall. You're in the compound now. I believe you have a route down. Pardon me. I believe you have a route down to the workshop. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You go through your route and you begin crawling down into the workshop. And with that, we're going to cut over to Essie. Essie, you have now completed your errands. You've left your notes with Carlos, and he's a little unreliable, right? But you expect that somewhere in the next 1 to 5 days, he's going to deliver that note.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere within the next 1 to 5 days, he's going to deliver those notes. Pardon me.
Yeah.
And you're down in the workshop doing the last of your packing. As you're doing that, who should show up but Kit coming in through your secret entrance?
So there is, for folks that are watching, there's a large workspace down in the basement area of this estate, and the part of it is clean and organized, and it's large. There's rows of bookshelves. There's this like almost upper level to it with like a workshop stand. There are more tools than people have probably seen in their entire life in this. There's workbenches of different varieties, different tools are in different places. There's artifacts, there's projects that look to be half done, in different stages of completion in here. And Essie would probably just be at one of the workshops. There's a little section that's like most of it is clean and tidy, and then there's a section that is like absolute chaos over on the side. But she's in the organized spot on a workbench. She's got her bag out, and she is putting tools into this bag that also should probably not seem like they fit. When she hears a rumble almost, and there's this moment of like, who is coming in and am I going to get caught, essentially? And so she's going to loop her bag around her shoulder, and she's going to like duck up against the workbench, and she's going to look out at this wall that looks normal but is shifting slowly to the side. And she's just going to like, she's got a almost like wooden and metallic object strung on her back, and she's going to take that out and just look around the workbench at who might be coming in the secret entrance.
Great.
She doesn't say anything.
Coming in that entrance, as the door grinds open, Kit, you walk in. Do you mind giving us a view? What does Essie see when she sees you for the first time today?
So you see Kit walking in. She has a very like easy demeanor about her, and so she's kind of like sauntering in. But Essie, you know Kit a little bit. So when you see her, even though she looks very like calm and relaxed, like you can tell something is a little off. She is super pale. Like even though it's cold, you can see like she's like kind of sweaty. And she's got like what she wears. She's wearing what she usually wears. It's like this very mismatch. It's a bunch of different kinds of tweed, basically. She's got some trousers on that are a little bit shorter than they should be. She's very slight built herself. She's very short and like thin. She has like cropped auburn hair. She's wearing a tweed flat cap. She's got, the trousers that are a little bit too short, some boots on that are like a little bit higher than ankle height, and like a white shirt that's clean, but a little bit stained, a little tattered. She's got a waistcoat, and then over the waistcoat is like a tweed jacket. She also has this pocket watch and pocket watch chain that has a little carved wooden bird, like as the little fob, and that's peeking out, hanging from one of the pockets of her waistcoat. And yeah, so she kind of saunters in, and she's gonna lean on the wall and say, "Well, hello there. Good evening."
Essie will kind of like chuckle and roll her eyes, and she's going to stand up from where she was. And Kit is familiar, but what everyone sees is this young woman appears to have some elvish blood. She's slightly above average height, but very thin and willowy in stature. She's got this really long, straight blonde hair that she usually has swept up in like a high ponytail, but it still reaches midway down her back, if not a little bit even further. She's got these like piercing blue eyes and these delicate little pointed elven ears. She's wearing a leather ensemble. She's got like slate gray pants that she's tucked into these hardy leather boots. They look like they've seen action. They're not new. She got this fitted leather jacket on with like half gloves over her hands. And she's got these delicate glasses with almost like small braided chain that's connecting them to her ears. And on the side of the glasses are different like colored lenses that look like they could come down to cover over the normal glasses, but they're all up and away from her field of vision right now. She has got all manner of pockets and pouches tied to her person in some way or another. And you can see some tools and things poking out of them, but she's got an almost nondescript backpack that she's got slung over her shoulder. On her side, she's got a holster belted to her hip with some sort of contraption in it. And then kind of resting in her arms right now is this long, like metal and wooden object that she's got kind of resting on a leather strap. And she'll just kind of chuckle and she'll say, "Kid, I wasn't expecting you. What are you here for?"
"Oh, well, I thought I'd drop in.
You look like hell, sorry to say.
Really? Oh, well, I had a bit of a jog on the way over.
You all right?
I'm fine. Fine. You still, thinking about going away out of town?"
Yeah, I'm leaving tonight. I thought you didn't want to come along. You change your mind?
There may be a slight change of plans on my end.
Kit, do you have something you need to take care of? Something I can take care of? I thought you were pretty adamant against this whole thing.
I was. There's been a development.
All right.
I don't know exactly who it is, but I think I'm being followed. I know I'm being followed, actually. I just don't know why. And
Did they follow you here? She'll immediately like almost brush past her and look past down the tunnel.
I think the only people who were following me on this side of the wall were some guards, but I'm pretty sure I lost them. So yeah, I think we're good. I just think it might be good to get out of town a bit
Well,
for a little while, just until the heat is gone.
well, you're in luck. I was just about to leave. I got some
You're
horses
leaving-
for us
You're leaving now?
right now. You still in?
Perfect. Oh, absolutely. That's perfect.
All right.
Just to add a detail, your intent was to head to the stables where you've got the horses and the rest of your gear stashed early, like really late night, early morning, and then be on the road with first light or a little before.
Well, at the very least, I think we could. It's a little early, but would you rather bed down here for a little bit, or are you thinking we gotta head out right now?
No time like the present.
All right.
It is currently about 9 or 10, somewhere in there, right? So it's evening, but it's not late.
All right. Well, how about this? If you're being followed, we shouldn't take a straight path to the stables. Let's take a roundabout way, maybe get something to eat, and then try to head on over there.
That sounds good to me.
All right. She will just kind of like put a hand. She'll just kind of like bump Kit's shoulder with her fist, and she'll say, I had him prepare 2 horses just in case. Glad to have you along."
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be coming. It's what are we doing again?
We got a quest that's going to make us famous and possibly a little richer. I know that's more up your alley than being famous, but you ever heard of the Pale Banks?
Pale Banks. Is that a place?
It is. It's got a whole bunch of Aeoran artifacts up there that they've been finding. It's almost like a gold rush. There's a huge probability of us getting good names for ourselves or possibly even making a whole lot of money in this. It's a little dangerous, though.
Oh, the money sounds great. I'll leave the name for you, if that's all right.
Yeah. Well, all right, if that's what you want. I'm not really interested in the money, but it's a chance to be put down in history. Kit, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
I'm down. So the team is back together, locked and
Yeah.
loaded.
Locked and loaded. You bet, just like the old days. Like 2.5 weeks ago. They're older now. All right. Come on, let's go before Carlos catches us.
All right, let's go.
As you make ready to leave, just heads up for Kit and Essie, you're gonna have to. So it's reasonable to stay at the stable if you want, right? At least a little bit before heading out. Going out on the road in darkness is dangerous, right? And you know that to be dangerous. Well, Essie, you know that to be dangerous. Kit, you've never done any travel, like you've never left the city. So there's something to think about there, but think about it over the break because here we are
Already?
going to.
I know.
At this point, we're gonna cut to a quick break, and we will be back in about 10 minutes. So we're gonna call it 2:35 Central Time or 3:35 Eastern. There we go.
Perfect.
And we'll see you back then, and we'll figure out what our heroes are doing. All right. Thanks, folks. See you in a bit. Okay, and we are back live. Folks, if you're out there and you stuck with us through the break, thank you. If you didn't stick with us, thanks for watching a little bit before, right? Really appreciate all the support that we have. Want to come back and say that I hope you did enjoy the first half and that it was fun. I certainly had a great time. A little bit of what happened, just in case you weren't watching and this is you just joining us. We met our heroes, or two of our heroes, Kit and Essie, and we saw a little bit of Essie touring around her mansion. Right? Thank you. We saw Carlos, and we also saw Kit having a slightly worse day as she's been on the run for almost 2 days. Now we are rejoining our heroes. They are in the manor Rose Hill, right? The Pike residence in the city of Zadash. They are in Essie's workshop and they are discussing what they're going to do. Before we hop right back into the action, however, we have some requests for you, those watching us. Be a hero for the show and press, if you're on Twitch, click the little follow button. It matters for a reason that I don't understand, but I know it's important. If you're on YouTube, there's a little subscribe button. I'm sure either of them have a thumbs up or a heart. That would go a long way. And now for a much better call to action, let me give you once again Paula.
Oh, what am I calling to action? I'm talking about our social media.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
Gotta be on your toes when you play with me. So.
Yes. So we have a few social media pages. Our TikTok has been really fun. I've been putting together like little funny clips from the show. And so if you want to just go there and do a little bit of a catch up on some of the highlights, you can see those on TikTok. We've also been posting those to Instagram and Twitter. And we also post like updates and announcements about the show on there as well. And we have our merch shop where you can get these very cool mugs and wizard hats and t-shirts and hoodies. And Patreon. Patreon is very exciting. We have some very cool. We have a micro TTRPG that one of our cast members, Josh, created and we played. And that was last month. This month, we have a module that's super exciting. It's like kind of X-Files themed, which, if you know me, it's my favorite show. So I'm very pumped to play that. And you get those if you support us on Patreon. And we're going to have stuff like that every month. I think that's it. But
yeah,
we appreciate
absolutely.
you guys.
Thank you for that, Paula. Last but not least, you can find us every Saturday here. Going forward, we're going to be playing Best Left Buried every Saturday from 1 to 4 Central Time here on this channel. Hope you join us. We're going to probably rerun this on occasion throughout the week in case, well, you can always watch it on demand, but that also seems like a good one to catch on Twitch. What was the other one?
Tuesdays.
Oh, right. Tuesdays. This Tuesday, we're going to have our first Tuesday show here on the 7th. So we're excited to see what that's going to be. Right now, things are a little bit unclear, so we don't have any announcements yet. But if you join our Discord, which we put a link to in the chat, both here and on YouTube, and I'll put another one in during the rest of the session, you can hear more about what that's going to be.
It's going to be fun, whatever it is.
With that, I say we get back to our story.
All right.
Kit and Essie, you are in the workshop. What are we up to?
It's a little early to leave. I don't think we want to leave town just yet, but if we got to get out of here or bed down somewhere, I have a couple horses waiting for us. We can try to make sure that we lose your followers. Get to the stable. It's pretty comfy. You know, it's not exactly a 5-star hotel, but It'll do for the night. Get some food. You look like you could use it.
I'm not picky as far as sleeping arrangements, so stable sounds nice as long as it's warm.
All right.
I'm a bit peckish, so food also sounds pretty good. Haven't had much time to stop and eat.
I'd take you to the kitchens, but I don't want to catch anybody up there when I've got travel clothes on. So we should probably head on back out
You
the
sneaking out as well?
I'll tell you a little bit about it on the road, but yeah, I'm kind of sounds crazy. 22 years old sneaking out of the house is a little bit much, but yeah, trying to get away in here for a little bit.
So we're both going undercover. A little covert mission.
Yep. It's gonna be great. I'll use everything you taught me.
I'll be testing you.
Testing me when we're running from something that's gathering you. Oh my gosh. Kid, you're never gonna change.
And
Alright, let's get on out of here.
sorry to interrupt. I forgot before the break, both of you have been doing a great job playing in character, and it's been a lot of fun. Please mark inspiration on your character sheets.
Ooh,
Thank you.
exciting.
A quick note on inspiration, if you're not clear on what that is, it's a one-time thing. It's kind of either on or off. I know y'all know it, but if you're watching, inspiration is a thing that you can use, and when you use it, it allows you to roll with advantage on something. You can also give it away to somebody else when they want to roll on something important. So it's a great way to get an advantage during a very clutch situation or negate disadvantage should you need to. Sorry about that. Let's hop
all
back
right.
in.
Essie will just start heading back out down the tunnel path and wait for Kit to follow her before she will. There's this little lever on the other side, very hidden away, and she's just gonna pull it, and the door will start to slowly like rumble shut behind them.
When Essie turns her back, Kit's gonna just take a shaky breath, hitch her bag on her shoulder, and then she's gonna kind of relax into that easygoing demeanor and follow.
All right. So Kit'll or Essie, I'm not Kit. Essie will lead them down the path, and she'll just kind of look back, and she's not having any problem in the dark, but she'll just say, "Kit, are you all right in the dark?"
I am actually. Been able to see since I was a little wee child, so
Really?
comes in handy on the streets.
That's interesting. All right. Well, you let me know if anything trips you up, and she'll just
I will.
take them down this. It's definitely like a dugout. You know, there's earth on either side of them and beneath them. It's packed beneath them, but it's nothing fancy. It's high enough where you can walk comfortably for the two of them, but it's only really wide enough for one person to walk through at a time unless they squeeze past each other. And the tunnel will lead eventually up to almost there's a ladder there, and Essie will just kind of, she'll adjust her backpack and sling that interesting contraption over her shoulder, and she'll just start to climb up the ladder. And then when she reaches the top, there's this, she'll flick a couple like little switches and then just like almost shoulder up this object that'll just start like creaking up slowly, and she'll just kind of peer out and see if she sees anything before she just opens it all the way.
So where does it lead? Where does it open to?
It leads to the back end of their property and comes out. It's actually a repurposed beehive. So around the estate, there are tons of different beehives. They're not uniform. They look a lot different, scattered through. This one, upon very close inspection, like you have to really be inspecting it, but you notice that there are no hives in this one. It's purely decorative.
Yeah, great. You can see in the distance and moving away a pair of guards patrolling the compound, two again of the new guards. Uh, one carrying a heavy crossbow, one with a shield and spear, both wearing heavy armor, walking around. But they are moving away from you, and they are some distance away. It will be easy for you to get out and make your way across. There shouldn't be
All
another
right.
patrol for a few minutes.
She's gonna lift it up, scoot out, and then like gesture towards the kid. All right, anytime.
She'll follow.
All right, and then Essie will take a moment to close the lid, and she'll like latch it back in place where there's a series of puzzles that you have to do correctly to get in from this side. So she'll just like latch everything, reset it, and then she'll just hitch her stuff up again on her, on her shoulder and lead him on out the back way.
Yeah, Nancy Drew's not getting in here.
No way.
You continue through and are able to get to the exit to your compound. This is your moment. You are at the precipice. You want to say anything before you leave Rose Hill behind for possibly the last time?
Yeah, Essie will she'll close the little, there's an almost like they're going out the back entrance, it's a smaller gate, but she'll shut it and she'll like grab onto the bars with both hands and just look at the lit up estate. The upper level is almost purely windows. There's beautiful stained glass windows. There's the Pike family crest on a very ornate stained glass window in the middle, which looks like a rose in the center of a compass. And she'll just take a breath and second guess herself for a second. Her mother's words are going to come back to her and about patience and waiting for her father, and she'll kind of close her eyes for a second, rest her forehead against the gate, and then she'll just say, "You should know this best, Mom. I gotta forge my own path. I'll be careful." And then she'll retreat, follow Kit.
I love it. I would have given you inspiration again. Great. Amazing. So you head out onto the streets. Now, you should be aware, Essie. Kit is certainly aware and reminds you if you don't know. There are patrols out now, and even as the child of one of these noble families, you are not supposed to be on the streets at this time. So it is past curfew. It's more lenient for you, and you're confident that you could talk your way through it. But if you were caught on the streets, it is likely that your parents would find out about it.
Yeah, she'll
How are you going to make it to the stable? I'm sorry.
She'll flip the hood up. She's got a nice cloak, and she'll flip the hood up over her very noticeable hair, kind of tuck it over her forehead, and she'll just say, "All right, well, I don't have to tell you this, but I'll find us a back way." And then she'll start. I mean, Kit knows the city as well, but this is kind of Essie's home turf here, so she will not go the direct path to the stable that they're going to, a stable hand. She is going to take them in a very roundabout way through back alleys to try to get there without drawing any attention. Very carefully, very quietly.
Okay.
Kit will also. Oh, I was just gonna say, Kit will also just help keep a lookout. For anybody, any guards or anything.
Yeah, between the two of you and going the more circuitous route, I think is the right word. You are taking care to go slowly, to go stealthily. You're working together. You have no problem avoiding the patrols who are well lit and somewhat obvious, and you are able to make it to the stable. An hour and a half to 2 hours of travel, but you find yourselves there.
All right. They were expecting me, but not this early. So Essie will kind of peer around the stables. Is there anyone out and about, or there's nobody around?
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So you get to the stable. There's the large building. There's the fenced in area where you kind of like walk the horses around and stuff. And you don't see any activity. Within the stable, you can hear the sound of the horses, and you can hear the sound of a sleeping stable hand as a boy is laying there in one of the straw piles, just conked out, doing nothing.
All right. Well, Essie is gonna first. I mean, she knows the layout of the stables pretty well. She's here often. She's just gonna make sure that her two horses, Freya and Bryn, are in their normal stall first before she does anything else.
Yeah, you look through the stable. That as you go through, you do see them. They are sleeping but up, or sleepy but there. Everything's very calm inside the stable, but your horses look there and they look ready.
All right, that's good. That's good. I was worried it's not going to go off without a hitch. She will take a moment and just call, just stroke her horses right on the foreheads there and calm them down a little bit again, and then she's going to go to the little stable hand and gently shake him awake.
Yep.
It's
Hmm?
it's all right. It's all right, Will. It's just me. It's just Essie.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm here
By
a
the
little
gate.
bit early.
Oh, you startled me.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm here a little bit early. I just didn't want to wake you up when I was saddling the horses and you freak out a little bit.
Right? You
Yeah.
need me to get him ready?
No,
Rubbing sleep
that's
out
all
of his
right.
eyes?
I had to come a little bit early, so we're just gonna bed down in here in the hay a little bit for a couple hours, get a little shut eye, and then we can saddle up the horses and get them ready. You don't have to wake up for us.
Oh.
And she will dig into her pack and she will hand him a gold piece.
Of course, my lady. And looks hugely grateful, opens his eyes like, thank you. Yes, of course.
You
Anything you
remember
need.
our deal. You didn't see
Not a
anything.
word, miss. Not
All
a
right.
word.
All right, to nobody, not even my parents.
Of course.
All right, thanks. You're the best. All right, well, you can go to bed. Do you have any snacks around here? My friend and I are pretty hungry.
I'm afraid not. Miss.
All right, that's all right. It's all right, Will.
I could
We'll get some.
run and grab you something.
Would you?
Of course.
Can't be seen though. You're gonna get in trouble if you do.
Of course.
All right, I'll give him another gold piece.
Yeah, he runs off into the night.
All right. Essie will just shrug the contraption off her shoulder and the bag, and she's gonna drop them down and just start making like a little nest. To be honest, in the hay. You can relax. I'm pretty well known around here.
Yeah, Kit is probably already just like she's probably already making a little nest of her own, and she looks exhausted, like just dead tired. Question for Essie. Has Kit seen this contraption before that she's got with her?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
This is her musket.
Okay. Just making sure.
This is happy ending.
Happy ending.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I couldn't help but notice. Oh, sorry.
No, I just wanted to confirm that your rifle is called Happy Ending.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Great, good, excellent. I'm fine with that. No problem.
I couldn't help but notice your little interaction with Will there. This is a secret from your family.
Something's going on, Kit, and I can't figure it out. My father, he's into something and I don't know what. He won't tell us. But, well, I've been thinking for a while that The pack name, that's known, but it's my parents that people know. Cedric and Elmira? That's what people know when they think of the pack family name, but I've been almost an equal partner now for years, and I'd like to make my name known too, a little bit outside of just my family name. But my dad he's against it 100%, but he won't tell me why, and he won't tell me anything right now, and I don't know, kid. I just gotta figure out my own path, I guess.
So, Kit, just for a little context for you,
Mm.
you had actually heard of Essie and the Pikes prior to meeting Essie.
That's a
Right.
great band name, by the way. Essie and the Pikes. I love that. Sorry to interrupt you.
There is a
No.
famous band in the city named after them, of course.
Of course.
Right,
Of
yeah.
course. I've heard of both.
Right. Well, so there are some songs and some stories for the Pike family, as they've done some really novel things, right? So they're not unheard of, right? So it's a relatively famous name.
Okay. Well, I'm sure your father just has your best interests in mind. Along with a bit of fame also comes risk.
Kit, she'll kind of laugh and she'll say, "I know what I sound like, but this is not my father. You have to understand. Since I've been 13 years old, we've been partners in tinkering, in making stuff, and projects. We've been almost equal partners since then, and we don't keep secrets from each other. This is something's not right."
Well, I don't know the full situation, you're right, but whatever it is, I'm with you.
All right. Well, I just want you to know I'm not trying to just be rebellious here. I gotta figure some stuff out. It's Elspeth Pike, not Cedric and Elmira's daughter.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Well, I hope it goes well. I'm glad you're coming with me. I thought you were completely against the idea.
Oh, I was.
Are the little crows all right?
I hope so.
All right. All right. Well, Will should be back with food before long, and you can get some rest.
That would be quite nice, actually.
With that, actually, Will returns, and he's got a sack. There's a wineskin. There is bread. There is cheese, and there's some sausage, and some apples.
Will, you're the best.
Because here you are, ma'am.
Of course.
Oh,
Thanks.
Miss Pike, it's no problem.
Yeah, well, you're a godsend.
Well, if that'll be all, I'll
that's
take
it.
my leave.
Of course. Have a good night, Will. I probably won't see you. We're leaving early, but just remember, you didn't see me at all.
I've seen nothing all night. Yes.
All right. Good boy. All right. Thanks, Will. I appreciate it a lot.
And he leaves you be, and y'all are able to spend the night and take a long rest in peace.
Yay!
Yay.
Kit probably falls asleep while she's eating. Just sitting up, leaning against the wall.
Essie will take out a bedroll and she'll put a blanket around Kit's shoulders,
Oh.
take the food away, and clean up a little bit before she beds down for the night.
And Essie, to be clear, you packed extra supplies. Is that correct?
Everything you can possibly imagine.
Okay. Keep that keep that noted for now and share it with Kit in the chat later, just so she has it. Sound okay?
Absolutely.
So you're awakened early as dawn begins to break, or you wake as dawn begins to break. Your horses, you saddle them up, you get ready, and you get out on the road. You are now at the start of a new day. You are taking your first trip, well, not yours. Kit, for the first time, you leave the mighty gates of the city of Zadash, heading north. Essie, you are now back on the road, right? The last time you went this way was, almost 10 months, a year ago, as you first went to your last dig site, where after that small incident, you and your family and everyone that wasn't one of the official, Imperial mages was made to leave the site. But once again, you're heading north. So if I'm correct, you are heading north towards the crossroads, and you have a plan to meet a caravan there. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So Essie had been in talks, and she plans this caravan at the Amber Crossroads is leaving in about 2 weeks, is what she was told. So she knows that it's going to be tight to get there, which is why she's leaving a little bit early. So she's going to try to maintain a steady pace to get there as they travel. But there's a caravan at Amber Crossroads trying to get towards Ice Haven. So that's her plan.
On horseback, you expect to be there like in 9 days at the most, 7 if you press. So you do have time if you'd like.
All right. Well, steady pace, nothing too quick. Although it did seem like Kit was pretty shaken. So I think for the first half day, depending on Kit's level of comfort in a saddle, I think she'd try to press them fast at a fast pace.
So, yeah, Kit looks extremely uncomfortable as they're trying to leave. Not with riding a horse. She hasn't ridden a horse before, but that doesn't seem to be too much of a struggle. She's pretty nimble and lightweight and agile, so that's not really an issue for her. But she does just seem not herself. Usually she just has this very, chill demeanor, but you can see she's looking over her shoulder. Whenever she notices you looking at her, she tries to, look a little bit more relaxed, but she's definitely nervous and would try to just encourage Essie to go a little bit faster.
All right, well, I think for half a day we can go at fast pace, and the horses are going to need a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, I'd just like to get a little bit of distance from the city, if we can.
Is this thing going to be coming after us? Can it track you?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put you in any danger, so if it seems like it is following us, I'll just have to go my own way.
Kit. All right, none of that. And she'll, the reins are in one hand, and she's going to pat the little contraption she's got on her hip. And she'll say, I'm not a stranger to danger. We're going to be just fine.
Stranger danger.
As soon as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, all right, that could have worded this in a little better way.
I know you're one of the bravest people I've ever met, but I don't know what this is that's coming after me. It's not quite human, and I hadn't planned really to bring anyone else into it. In fact, I want the opposite. I don't want to put anyone else in danger, so I appreciate you helping, but
Did you do a job that went sideways recently? Why is this thing after you?
she thinks back, and there is a situation that could possibly be related, but I don't really know. I've never encountered anything like this, so it's possible, but maybe we'll just lose him.
Well, that's the plan. He's probably expecting you to hunker down in the city by yourself. I don't think they would have expected you to get out of town. We're probably safe, but keep an eye out.
Yeah, I will.
And
Or-
with that, as they travel, Esty herself is going to be keeping a very vigilant gaze around.
Definitely. Kid as well.
Okay, so for the first half of the day, each of you roll me a perception check and give me just 1 sec before you do.
All right, I got the Elspeth Pint Guarantee of Excellence. Did not help because I rolled a natural 2. So
Oh.
that's a 5 total for me.
Perception. Oh, that's actually good. That's a natural 19.
I got something in
plus
my eye.
3.
My eyes been watering for like the last 3 hours. You seeing anything?
That's a 22. I hope I see something, or I hope I don't see anything actually. But
All right. As you begin traveling in the morning, it's relatively empty. So leaving the gates, big gates, lots of guards, but again going with Essie, especially wearing some of the newer and finer clothes that she's got. Essie, did you have an extra cloak in there?
I would probably have. So she had been packing extra travel clothes, so I would assume like her cloak is a fine cloak.
Very fine. Yeah.
However, she understands that on the road there are times when you want to dress down, so she took a couple very nondescript changes of clothing, including a couple cloaks.
So with the finer cloak that Essie was able to provide you, notice that guards already are looking at you differently, like when you travel in her company, and you get through the gate. There's not a ton of traffic on the road. Pretty quickly though, you see within the first day, you see a group of soldiers off the side of the road doing something. Like looks like there's like a group of soldiers, maybe anywhere from 30 to 80 folks camped out not far from the city by the road. Otherwise, there's not a ton going on. There are some merchants. There are some merchants. As you begin going, there are smaller little hamlets along the way. There's an inn. Nothing too interesting. And your first half of the day passes without any event. You continue traveling, going at pace. It's a little harder to keep watch. Second half of the day, you start to slow down a little bit, and you're not making the same time. You're a little bit further out from the city, so it's closer. It's a lot of plains here, but there are woods. They're just not super thick, or there are trees. It's just not super thick woods at any given point. And you're rolling on relatively flat country. Yeah, relatively flat country. And we're gonna continue. The first day, I'm gonna speed up our time a little bit, unless anything urgent's going on for either of you.
I just would say, like, so the spires of the city, are they pretty tall? Like from where we are, maybe about halfway through the day. Like if Kit were to look back, would she see the city?
Yeah,
from where
about
they
halfway
are?
through, absolutely. You see them fading away. Like you don't have a lot longer that you're going to be able to see them.
So she would just stop for a second, just look at the city for a moment. She's never seen the city from outside the city.
Essie will rein her horse, like notice her stop and rein her horse around and just kind of settle next to her and look at the city with her for a second.
Yeah, and she's not going to say anything, but she does look a little bit sad.
You know, leaving's hard sometimes, but makes coming back even better.
She's not going to say anything. She's just gonna kind of look away and wipe her eye.
It'll still be there when we get back. I promise.
I know.
Okay. The rest of the day passes without much in the way of events. The rest of the day passes without much in the way of events, and you are now at the point where you're making camp for the first time on the road. As it comes later, you've got one of you roll me a d12.
All right, I'll do it. Oh gosh,
We'll take
D12,
turns.
I'd love to. 5.
Okay. You before nightfall, probably 2 hours before nightfall, you do pass an inn, but you decide to keep going, right? Because you're trying to make time this first day. And you end up, it's getting close to nightfall and you're on the road. So you need to find yourselves a campsite. So can somebody give me a survival check to get a reasonable, safe place to sleep at the side of the road or wherever?
I suppose I've been around these parts a little bit more. All right, Elspeth Pike, your guarantee of excellence is gonna do great things in this world. That's a 14.
14. Okay. You're able to find a decent campsite. It's got some shelter. You're not hidden away, but you're up on a hill, so you've got decent visibility, and the weather looks pretty decent. Again, cold spring, but decent. The snow today melted. It was a fair bit warmer than it was yesterday, and
So
you're able to find yourself a spot.
Essie's gonna unshoulder her backpack and spread it out, and she's gonna be like, "I got something for this." And she reaches into her backpack and starts pulling something out, and it just keeps coming up as she pulls out an entire tent out of this backpack.
Where did that come from?
Well, you don't think I got a regular bag, do you? Here, you try it. She'll hold up the bag and she'll be like, think of something that could help us in this situation.
Maybe pot for some coffee?
Reach in there and grab it out.
Reach your hand in.
There's a coffee pot in her hand.
How did you do that?
Oh, well. I got my ways.
Mary Poppins up in here.
She's just gonna circus music. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Actually, then when she pulls out the coffee pot, it's just the sound of yodeling. What's going on? I'm kidding. No, so she's just gonna kind of laugh, and she's just gonna say, "Well, this is something I've been working on for a while, but there's a lot more space in that bag than you'd imagine. So if I'm, ever in a spot where you think you might need something and I'm not around, just, there's no guarantee it's for sure going to be in there, but you just got to think about what you need. And if it's in there, you'll be able to pull it out."
That's pretty impressive.
If you want everything out and it's kind of an emergency, you just turn it inside out and everything will fall on out. But I wouldn't do that unless it's dire. There's a lot of stuff in there.
You're quite prepared for this journey. I'm glad. Didn't have much time to pack myself.
Well, I think I got pretty much all we need. You can go ahead and pick out the bedrolls too if you want. If you feel comfortable sort of setting up the camp, I'll go take care of the horses.
Certainly. She'll reach in and pull out the bedrolls and start setting up.
Great. Y'all are able to make camp, have a little bit of road rations, and prepare yourselves for bed. So we can do watches, but between the two of you, you actually can't actually cover the whole night and still get a proper long rest. So we're gonna have to you're gonna have to spend some of it just hoping that people don't come up on you as you're sleeping.
Yeah. I think in Kit's opinion, or in Essie's opinion, excuse me, again, I'm not Kit. In Essie's opinion, the beginning and the very end are generally the most important when things start happening. So she'll just say, you want the beginning, or you want to wake up early?
I'll take first watch if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll set my watch to give me a little trail when it's morning.
Okay. May I please get a perception roll from each of you for your shifts, and then I'll tell you later if anything disturbs you for your long rest.
Oh, that's bad. That's so bad.
So just hold on to them. I'll let you know if no, you're fine. You can tell me too. It's not like a secret. But just make sure that you've got one. And
I got one.
It's real good is what I'm hearing.
Not proud of it, but I got one.
Not proud. I wouldn't say I'm thriving, but I am surviving.
Okay, well, your night passes uneventfully. It's the morning. You're packing up, getting ready to hit the road. Is it fair to say y'all are heading out early once again?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. The second day, the roads are a little bit more crowded. You pass. There is early in the day. There is a small merchant caravan heading south, heading towards Zadash.
I think as we go by it, Essie will just kind of lift up her hand to hail them.
Yeah, they seem friendly. Not a lot of guards. Not none, but not a lot of guards.
Yeah, so she'll actually circle around to the first wagon, and just kind of ride pace with them back towards the dash for a couple minutes, just to maintain a little conversation. And she'll be like, "Hi, I'm Essie Pike. I'm just wondering, how's the road travel? Any bandits or anything you've been coming across in your travels here?"
Well met. No bandits so far. Although I heard tell some were menacing the roads, but nothing on our trip.
Nothing for you, huh? Well, that's good. I'm glad that your travel went fine. Any other troubles you've been running into?
Hold on. I've got something for this somewhere.
Yeah, of course. Because we've still got quite a ways, and I just want to make sure that the roads. We just want to be as prepared as possible.
Well, lots of soldiers out and about. I'd say be careful of that, but stay out of their way, and they should leave you be. Leave the roads a mighty fine mess, though.
Soldiers in the area. Has Essie heard any? Is this like prepping for war type of thing, or is there something else going on?
Well, in fact, war has started. So there was, I don't know exactly when, right, but fairly recently, war broke out between the Empire and its biggest neighbor, the Kryn dynasty.
So they're mobilizing already, huh?
Indeed.
Thanks for the thanks for the advice. We'll steer clear. You know how soldiers can be.
Travel safely.
All right, you as well. Hope your stay in Zadash is good for your business.
Thank you kindly, ma'am.
Of course. She'll head on back towards. I don't know if Kit was by her or if she
No.
continued.
Kit had not. She'd stopped. She's kind of like pulling her cloak too a little bit, like closer, and she will just wait for you.
Yeah, Essie will pick up the pace and canter on up until she's abreast, and then slow down again. And their soldiers already out and about after the declaration of war.
Well, I'm not too fond of the soldiers. I've seen the press gangs in the city, and you don't think we're in danger, do you?
Nah, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm very familiar with these roads, and of course, I don't have a ton of dealings with the soldiers, but she'll kind of, get out like her own family crest that she's got. They'll probably leave us alone.
Benefits of the family name.
Yeah, it's funny, huh? I want to make my own way in the world, but I still got to rely on it a little bit. But it's got its perks.
As you continue your journey, getting closer towards lunch, you stop for a minute just to let the horses rest, grab yourselves a snack, and you see as you're resting. Well, first you hear it, right? There is somebody, and they are driving their horses. They are driving their horses. So you can hear hooves pounding as over a ridge, not 200 feet back, 3 riders crest the ridge, and they are moving down the road.
Kid, I think we should get on our horses.
Are they? So they're coming from Zadash?
They are. They're moving north along the road.
They look familiar?
You look, but they're a little far for you to see well.
Can I reach into my bag, and out comes a spyglass, and she's just gonna extend it, and take a peek at them.
Yeah, great. I won't even need a perception check, honestly. So you've got three riders. There are 2 humans and a half orc, and these are rough looking folks. Every one of them you see carrying a sword. They're wearing armor. They look like they've been on the road. They've been on the road a bit, or they're just kind of grimy in general, and they are moving. The horses look like they've been working.
Are they moving like directly towards us?
Well, you're on a road, so there's only the one road heading this way. So there's nowhere else they could be heading.
All right, mount up, kid. We got to be on. If we need to get out of here,
She'll
just swing up on her horse.
Move off the road.
So you are off the road a little bit. So there's a little hill, there's a tree, there was some shade. Wasn't a bad spot to have lunch. As you put the spyglass away, they are now close, right? They're within range. You see they slow down as they get a little bit closer, and
Essie will immediately mount up. She does not want to meet she wants to be ready to run if they need to.
Yeah, they are certainly looking at you.
I'll acknowledge them.
And they continue to move.
Hand wave. Just in like a polite sort of thing, but she's wary.
Right. As they keep coming closer, and as they do, you see the one in the lead, the half orc. She reaches into her cloak, she grabs something, and she looks at it, and then she puts it back, and then she looks up. She goes, "Earl,
Hale, you're riding hard. You looking for something?"
Indeed.
What you looking for?
She as she gets closer, they kind of stop, and you see the two other riders. They each begin to like circle out a little bit.
I'm not gonna let them get to my back, and she's gonna be slinging a happy ending down just quietly, like she's gonna say,
As you
whatever
kind
you
of
got to
casually
say, you can say to my face.
shoulder, you see each of them move in such a way that their sword is now more accessible.
Listen, I
And
don't know who
the,
you are, but you don't want to mess with us.
the woman looks at you and she goes, "How about this? How about you mind your business?" And your friend there takes that hood off her head.
How about you go to hell? She's just gonna say, you cannot harass the nobility of Zadash. You get on out of here.
As you say, "How about you go to hell?" She goes, "You first," and draws her sword.
I'll swing. Can I get a shot off?
So you're not going to be able to get the drop on him, but we can roll ourselves some initiative.
All right.
Oh my gosh, the first initiative.
Oh gosh. Guess what, you guys?
Oh, not
It's a
bad.
natural 1.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's 19.
I don't know what
for me.
happened. I was so ready.
Oh.
So that's a total of 5.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh. Kit is not prepared for this.
All right, so 5 for Essie, and what was Kit's?
19.
19.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Man,
draw
trouble found us
swords.
immediately.
Oh my gosh.
You see the 2 other riders. While they've drawn swords, you can see crossbows just there on their horses. And all right, the woman in front, as you say, "Go to hell," she shouts, "You first," and she spurs her horse and rides up alongside you, Essie. She
Alright.
pulls out her sword along the way and begins slashing at you. So give me just a moment.
Armor class is 17.
Excellent. She begins slashing at you.
That's a lot.
17, you said?
17.
Yeah, so she comes in and she is fast. Like her sword is darting out, slash, but you avoid it. The third one gets you.
A reaction shield.
Okay.
So plus 5, so it's a 22. And
22, yeah.
22.
So the third one is about, you can see it's getting ready to connect. The blade's coming towards your face, and
Essie's just gonna like reach up, in this almost like arcane energy is gonna flash up and just take the hit as it flashes off. She's gonna say, "No, you don't. This is my territory."
right. And with that, we have one of the other 2. So one of the others spurs his horse towards you, Kit, and he tries to grab you. Yeah, he tries to grab you. So I need you to make an acrobatics roll to avoid being grabbed by this person.
I'm gonna use my. Am I? Oh yes, I'm gonna go ahead and use my
Inspiration?
Yes, thank you. I'm so nervous right
problem.
now. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's good that I did that. That's a 13 plus 6, so 19 acrobatics.
They almost get you. They're clearly going to grab your hood off, but you duck right out the way.
The other roll was a 3, so.
Kit, it's your go.
So let me see. Where are we located? You said the woman had ridden up next to
Essie.
Essie.
So one's ridden up next to Essie. One is ridden up next to you. One is probably a solid 20 feet away. One is probably a solid 20 feet away. You are now both Well, actually, did you mount up on horseback?
Yes.
Okay, so you're both on horseback, but 2 of you are engaged in combat.
Okay. So she will ride up alongside basically like what she's going to try to do is like, so there's Essie's horse, then the woman, and she's going to try to ride up along, like, to kind of like sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
As
going to
a, are you going to disengage from the person you're with currently?
oh Ye-
Because while they tried to grab you with the
Yeah.
one hand, their other is holding a very mean-looking sword.
yes, so I can do that as a bonus action.
You can.
So I will bonus action disengage, and then I will ride up to kind of sandwich the woman, in between. And I will pull out my little dagger. I've got a dagger, and I will do a little, like a fast little stabby.
Okay.
That was a natural 1.
Oh man.
Your horse not used to combat and all the moves it entails, moves at the last minute, and you're pulled away, and your dagger falls short of hitting
She
this
get
woman.
any sort of advantage if I'm on the other end?
She
No.
does not.
All right.
Anything else for you,
Okay.
kid?
Do I get another attack?
I don't think so. No.
No. Okay.
You would have used
Then-
your bonus action to
Right.
disengage.
Got you. That's fair. So I will.
Being on horseback, unless you're going to do something special, you're going to keep one hand on the reins.
Okay, makes sense. So movement. I will stay where I am and just try to. I'm trying to keep my horse like backed off a little bit, but I'm trying to keep the horse pressed up against the other horse. I know that it's probably not going to like it, but that's what she's trying to do. She wants to try and.
You're staying close in, right? Keeping this person, this half orc woman, from being able to get away. The third person that was there, they put away their sword and they pull out their crossbow and they aim it, and looks like they're going to shoot at one of you next round. With that, Essie.
All right. So she's going to reach into her pouch and pull out a couple objects, which seems kind of silly. Why would you do that? But she has this little device is one of the things that she pulls out, and it almost looks like a little mechanical spider. And she's going to use her little tools to do a couple adjustments on the fly, and then she almost like breathes magic into it, and there's this bzzz noise as it comes to life. And she's in the same movement. She's going to attach it to the barrel of her musket, and in that same action, pull it up, and it will, that same noise, and she's going to fire the force ballista at the woman in front of her.
Oh my. Roll with disadvantage because you're using a ranged weapon in melee combat.
Yeah. Both of them.
Melee?
Okay. Does a 14 hit?
That's a good question that I should know the answer to. It does not. No.
Right.
As you do it, she pushes she hits your elbow and bumps your shot just off a little bit.
All right. Let me just make sure I did that math right. Yeah,
It goes wide of you as you see this strange blast of force energy come moving past.
And then nope, I'll stay. I'm gonna try to position myself where the crossbow guy, like where she is between us. So I'm gonna use my enemy's body as a little bit of cover, and then that is the end of my turn.
Absolutely. All right. So the one that tried to get at Kit is going to ride up again, and he says, Just go up now. Nobody needs to get killed. And then he cuts at you, Kit, with his sword. With a slice. And misses wildly. So he swings at you, but you're able to deftly duck out of the way.
Owl as well on reflex.
The half-orc, however, she's going to swing a whole bunch. So, moving quickly, her blade, like friggin' like lightning, lashes out twice at you, Essie, and then once at Kit. Great. And all three, like, with that flurry of activity, the two of you are able to dodge out of the way or parry. One, you cut with your rifle, or you knock out of the way with your rifle, and you're able to keep your grip on your horse.
All right. It's not the first time Freya and I have been in this situation.
It's not. So Freya's been around some combat with you on horseback.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
She's my girl.
Okay. What about Bryn? So Freya and Bryn, for those watching, if you don't know, Freya and Bryn are Essie's horses.
I would say probably. She usually if they're on the road heavy, they'll alternate and she'll ride one day and then the second the other day and give it a rest, or the other one will be the pack horse for the day. So they're both pretty up on road travel in dangerous situations.
Okay.
They're steady horses.
Okay, good to know. Kit, your go.
So, after the strike comes at her, she's gonna kind of wobble out of the way, and she's still got her dagger in her hand, so then she's just gonna swing back up and use the momentum to do another really fast little shot with her dagger. That is not great. Let's see what that adds up to be. That's a 12.
Which one do you go for?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the woman that's in between.
Okay. Yep, no
us.
problem. Now, so she's relatively well armored. She's wearing a chain shirt, whereas the others seem to be wearing very light leather armor.
Should have gone for the other guy. Okay. So let's see. What can I do? Because I have my other hand on the reins, so I can't do another. I can't do another attack. Is that correct?
Your bonus action. You could be if you're holding two daggers, you could be switching back and forth. Being said, if you make two attacks and there is like a animal handling check, you're gonna make it at disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, so she misses that guy, or that woman, and then the guy that just rode up alongside her, she's going to try to make an attack on the other side.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a little better. That is a 14. No, sorry. Yes, a 14 to hit.
You hit.
Ah, yes. Now I don't know what I'm doing.
So with Essie there, you're going to be able to roll your sneak attack.
Sneak
damage.
attack.
So roll
Okay.
your normal damage plus your sneak attack.
Cool. Okay, that's not bad. That's 6 points plus 4, so 10. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah, your dagger lashes out at the rider, and you catch them, but you catch them right at the throat. Like they've leaned forward, your dagger slashes across. You can feel hot blood spray out over you and over your hand as your hand passes through them. The person drops their sword, grabs their neck, and you see them slide around a bit and then fall off their horse to the ground and lay there slowly dying.
Oh. Kit is just... She's a little stunned. She's not ever killed anyone before, so she's just kind of she doesn't really know what to do. But she's not going to move. She's just kind of staring at the guy on the ground.
You hear another figure, Mayor! And a crossbow bolt comes shooting out towards you.
Oh.
Kit, what was your AC?
15.
15. A crossbow bolt sticks into you, and you take 9 points of piercing damage as it goes through your shoulder.
Okay.
Essie, your go.
Essie's gonna look up at the figure who just shot her friend. She's gonna say, "I told you where I sent Mayor," and she's gonna lift her musket up and take a shot at the guy down south.
Again, roll with disadvantage because you're still in melee combat with that woman.
All right, then I'm gonna get out of. I'm gonna take the opportunity attack and ride away.
Okay, you're
for
gonna move some
a bit.
distance. Great.
Mhm.
They do swing at you.
Yep.
And that is a hit.
I'll take it.
You take 8 points of
All right.
piercing damage as the sword sinks into your thigh, cutting open a decent sized wound.
It's all right. So it's like almost her and Freya have been through a lot. So as Freya's going, she just like takes a deep breath and release, and then fires her musket with this giant shot. That's a 20 to hit. Dirty 20.
That is a hit.
13 points of piercing damage.
Your shot hits them. Can you tell me how they die?
Yeah, exact. It's almost interesting, while Kit's a little shaken with killing somebody. Essie, there's this moment where one of those lenses will just like sneak down over her glasses, and she center shot directly to the heart. Just takes him out, and he flies off the saddle to land. And then she will immediately like swing her musket up to the second one, and she'll hear that noise. It's like, zzz, and this little device that she has on the end of her musket's gonna fire for a 17 plus 6, so
That's a hit.
23. And then this just like force energy is gonna just shoot out from this little object, and she's gonna take 5 points of force damage and be knocked 5 feet in the opposite direction. So I'm assuming it might blow her off the horse.
Yeah, it does. So you see her as she's focused on Kit getting ready to bring her sword down. Your shot takes her in the side, and she gets blown off her horse, falls and lands badly, and is laying there on the ground. Can you tell me how much force damage you did?
That was 5 points of force
5
damage.
points.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I? Nah, I won't run her down. That's fine. I'll stay.
Well,
where
the
I am.
horse is in the way, and actually with that, Essie and Kit, I need you each to make an animal handling check. You two with advantage. Well, I'm sorry, it would have been with advantage. Kit, it's going to be neutral for you because you have two hands wielding daggers, and you took your hands off the reins.
Natural
The
20.
other horses begin. The horse that Kit you killed apparently Mayhor on. It seems steady and stable, but the other two both panic. In fact, we're gonna say there's a 50% chance that the one panicked horse is gonna run over that lady on the ground.
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna run her down. Then it's like, okay, that's a little bloodthirsty.
Yeah, so it moves past you, Essie, and it doesn't go towards the woman on the ground, but
All right.
you
My
do now
animal
have a
handling
clear
check.
run if you want to run it down next time. I'm sorry.
I was a natural 20 for an animal
Okay.
handling check.
I
Okay.
rolled a 13.
Great. Okay, so you're both able to keep control of your horses, and it doesn't matter if they were able to keep control of their horses because they're either dead or not on their horses. In fact, none of them are on their horses at this point. It's a good day for horses, I guess. All right. With that, we are back at the woman on the ground. So the woman on the ground picks herself up, looks around. Kit, she tries to grab you and pull you down onto the ground. So she tries to just grab you and yank you down. So I need you to roll a. Well, it's up to you, athletics or acrobatics.
That's a 16.
So she grabs you, but you kick off, and she's unable to maintain a grip on you. It is your go.
So yeah, she tries to grab me. I use the heel of my boot to just push off of her chest, and then so she's on the ground. She's like standing, but like on the ground next to my horse. Is that correct?
Yes, that's exactly right.
So
So you can actually attack with advantage because you have that height from horseback.
nifty, cool. Okay, so yeah, so she pushes off, and then she's just going to take her. She's gonna take her dagger and stab again, but she's going for like this part. Remember when we
Right.
said this part here between the head and the shoulder?
Right.
That's
yeah.
the neck.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's gonna stab that part right there, and she's got a 9 + 6, 15. That doesn't hit, does it?
That is a hit.
Oh, it is. Awesome. Cool.
Take her out, Kit.
So I don't have my. She's not in melee, so I don't have my sneak attack damage.
You had advantage, so you made use
Oh,
sneak attack damage. Yes.
Nice. Cool. So that was. Oh, that's not good though. That's 3, 4, 5, 9. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So you stab her. So you plunge your dagger in. You cut her. She snarls at you. And she's got one hand trying to grab you, and you see her getting ready to get after you with your sword or with her sword.
So, checking my. I can use. I can't because I've already used my bonus action to attack again, so I can't use my bonus action to disengage, right?
No.
So.
Did you attack twice this time? I thought you only attacked the once.
Oh, you're right. I only attacked once. I will bonus action disengage. I'm doing great here. I'm so nervous. I will bonus action disengage, and she's just gonna like use her boot again to kind of like push off and move the horse. Let me look at this. So is that where Essie is?
Yeah, Essie's a bit north of you, 10, 15
Just like
feet north.
a couple squares away. Yeah, she's just gonna move like about 10 feet north, so that she's not really far away. She doesn't want to like run away, but she's gonna move, and then she's gonna look over at Essie and say, "Should we run?"
All right, well, Essie, good timing. It's your go. Are you going to run?
Is gonna say, "It's always my policy to finish what I started." And she's gonna bring up her musket and she's center mass, lining up a shot, and she's gonna take it.
AC 15.
16 to hit.
There you go, you hit.
Terrible damage. 5 points of piercing damage from the shot, and at the same time, like it's almost like this. It's the crack of the musket followed by this whirring noise as force energy continues as well. And as her bonus action, she's going to fire her thing for the same 16. So that's 6 points of force damage and 5 points of piercing damage in her round.
And 5 points of piercing. Okay. Yeah, folks, if you're watching, think of a good force cannon noise. I'm thinking zip, but we could probably improve on that.
I always imagine, because I always think it's like a pulse cannon. If anyone's done like played Mass Effect, where it's like this noise where it like it really ready, like almost like revs up before it discharges.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty. I'll practice that not on the internet. Sorry, folks. And then
I've been practicing it off the internet for a little while now.
Right. Excellent. Great. So you hit him. She stumbles back, but is still on her feet.
5 feet. Hessie's not that. She's gonna put some distance. No, actually, her friend got hurt. She's gonna put herself between. She's just gonna loop Freya around. She's gonna say, "All right, come on, girl. It's not the first time." And she's just gonna, like, ready herself. She's gonna say, "I finish what I start."
So the woman looks at you, sees the still standing horse of one of her companions, turns, runs, jumps up super athletically, lands on the horse, and drives it towards you and Kit. And then she rides up, and she Kit, at this point, as you've been riding around, and as you've been moving around, your hood now is blown back, and she stares at you, Kit, and she says, "You'll be coming with me."
Oh.
And begins to cut at both of you. So again, we're doing 2 cuts for Essie, one for Kit. All right, Kit, that's a... Why is this so hard for me? I can do math. I know numbers. Yeah, that's a 20 to hit you.
Definitely hits.
So that the blade cuts into your side, and you take 7 piercing damage.
Oof.
Essie, one of those is going to hit you, and it may hit you even if you use your shield.
I'll take it.
All right, you take 8 points of piercing damage as the sword comes cutting across your side.
All right.
All right, Kit, your go.
Oh, okay. So she's going to. Does the woman look like pretty injured, or does she still?
She does. Yeah, she looks beat up but strong and tough.
She's on her horse now.
She is.
She's right next to me. Kit's gonna look at her and say, "Who are you? What do you want with me?" And she's going to attack again with her dagger. Oh, okay. That's good. That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And are we in melee? Do I get my sneak attack? Okay.
You do.
Perfect. Oh, that's very good. That's 16 points of damage.
Oh my god.
That's really good.
Sheesh.
You cut her badly with your dagger. Like, it sinks deep into her thigh, and you can see blood welling out of the wound immediately, beginning to coat the side of her horse. She's been shot. She's been smashed. She's fallen. She's in rough shape.
When the dagger's still in her thigh, Kit's gonna look at her and just be like, "Tell me who you are and who sent you." And then she's gonna jerk it out.
She looks at you. She goes, "I'd rather die. You know, you know, spawn." And,
rude.
Yeah. And Essie, your go.
Essie will say, "I can make that happen, you mucksucker." And she's gonna She she is going.
If you didn't have it, for using one of my made-up insults.
So she is going to scoot back a little bit to get some space.
Okay. So again, she slices at you.
I'll take it. Yep.
That's a 17.
Shield. Reaction again. She just, this arcane energy just flies up, and she's gonna say, "You're not a match for me." And then she's gonna mercilessly sight down the barrel of her gun, and that's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Better damage. So that's 11 points of piercing damage. And then again, she's just gonna fire her force. Natural 19 plus 6.
That hits.
Same
you only have
round.
to beat a 15.
Oh man, almost max damage this round. 9 points of force damage.
As you discharge the second shot, so the bullet takes her through the neck. The force cannon hits her in the chest, and you can hear bones crack as it hits deeply, flings her off the back of her horse, and she falls limp to the ground.
Is she getting up? Is she at all trying to get up?
She does not look like she's ever getting up.
All right.
Oh.
I gave you a warning, Essie will say.
The combat is over.
Kit's just like wide-eyed, like looking at Essie, looking at the bodies, like she's
Essie,
wiping the dagger, the bloody dagger, like off on her pants.
Your clothes, Kit, are soaked in blood already. Both your blood and a lot of blood from that first person, Mayhor, apparently, who, after you killed them, bled badly, right? You've got blood on your hands.
She's looking down at the wound, like in her side, like
first order of business. Essie, still with adrenaline pumping, she's gonna ride up to the one that just fell, and lean down and poke her with like her rifle, her musket, the tip of her musket, to see if she's gonna be moving.
You can see her chest cavity is collapsed in where the force hit her, right? Like she is dead. Lungs aren't moving, you know.
All right.
That was a heavy trauma. You can see, like, as you get closer, you see her eyes, what light there is fade from her eyes as she sits there, unable to move.
I told you not to mess with me. She'll dismount Freya and drop the reins, and as soon as the reins hit the ground, like, Freya just stops. She doesn't move. And she's gonna try to grab underneath her armpits and like drag her off the road.
Yeah, so again, you are all a little bit off the road in the place where you stopped, right? There's a little creek so you could water your horses. But yeah, you can pull them back behind the tree. There's some bushes and stuff, and you can hide these bodies. There are also 3 horses. So 2 of them have bolted, but they didn't go far. And the other is still there. So there's horses and there are these folk. But you want to pull the bodies off behind the clearing?
Yeah, I do a little bit. Get them off the road. I don't want somebody to come across these.
Yeah.
So actually, is she gonna say, "Kit, are you all right?"
As you're pulling her out the way, Kit, you're a little bit stunned, right? And you can see something fall out of that woman's jacket as she starts getting pulled. As you walk over and take a look, you see that it is a sketch. And it's a sketch that looks remarkably similar to your face. And with that, we're going to end it for today.
Oh,
no!
No!
Oh!
No, I want to keep playing forever.
Oh my gosh! Oh, how did we end like perfectly, exactly, like on time? Wow.
We're just
that
good,
was
folks.
so intense.
Yeah, I'm really
fun.
glad you enjoyed it. Folks, if you were watching, I really hope you enjoyed it. This was, like I said, our very first episode of the Best Left Buried series. We're really excited about it. We hope that you continue watching. Join us, please, next week for another episode, and this Tuesday for TBD.
Surprises.
And
It's going to be fun, whatever it is.
Yes.
We are
it will.
on every Saturday from 1 to 4 Central Time. And again, really grateful for the support. If you can press the little follow button on Twitch, that's important. And same thing, subscribe on YouTube. And and with that, we're gonna end here. Have a great rest of your Saturday.